All right, welcome one and all to First Time Dads, Diehard Fans
Diehard
podcast,
fans.
a podcast about fatherhood and sports. My name is Tim Bear alongside Nick
Nick
Prosy.
Prosy.
Nick, how are you doing?
Oh, and Tim, not too bad. Just a lovely Monday afternoon here. Went down to the beach, brought the dog to the beach, and doing.
Yeah. Yeah, you went.
How's?
Did you say you went down to the beach in Grafton?
Yeah, Grafton, Ontario.
Really, I had no idea they had a beach.
It's rocky. It's private. It's actually a really nice dog beach.
Nice.
It's a really nice dog beach. It's on Lake Ontario. A nice clear day, you can see Rochester. Bam. Interesting fact for your Rochester folks out there.
Yes, we can see you from across the lake.
We can see you. That's right.
So we got a few things to talk about on this podcast. A few noteworthy events happened this past week.
Yep.
Nick, let's start with you. Any news on your child?
Yeah. Beck and I are 21 weeks now, and we found out the gender of our baby. We decided that we wouldn't wait the 9 months, and we would. It's regardless, got the surprise at 20 weeks versus 9 months.
Yeah.
But we found out the gender this week. Pretty exciting.
Yeah, and what is the gender of your child?
Baby boy.
Baby boy.
There's gonna be a little Nick Prosy ripping around.
Join in the boys club.
That's right.
I love it.
Little baby Nick Prosy, tormenting the world, left, right, and center.
Yeah, man. That's exciting, man. We're gonna have to get him and Ethan together at some point.
That's right.
So how was your experience with that going into get the ultrasound done? Was it the first ultrasound that you guys have done, or
that was the third ultrasound we've done?
Oh wow.
Third ultrasound, second one I've been to, and yeah, that one was kind of cool. That was very an in-depth ultrasound versus the last one we went to was just kind of in and out. This one was cool. It was cool to see the baby do some somersaults and dance around and do its thing.
Yeah, that's actually our 20-week ultrasound was our first one. So that was that was really neat getting to see him. And so how's he doing? Is he perfectly healthy, or
As per we haven't full out got the full out doctor's report, but everything you can, like, my wife works in lab, like in the diagnostic imaging department, and everything we understand by reading and looking at it and hearing the way they were talking looks like it's he's pretty healthy. He's as healthy as it can be at this point. Yep. And
that's great news.
You got some bigger news, really, that happened this past couple days.
Yes. So my son was born
there you go.
Thursday at 4:33 a.m.
Ooh, good morning.
So it was a long haul. So Laura started experiencing contractions Tuesday morning at like 2 a.m. They weren't very intense for a while. She actually had a doctor's appointment that day, so we just went into that. The doctor said, everything looks great, just keep doing what you're doing. And then kind of Tuesday night into Wednesday morning was when contractions started getting a lot more regular. Laura didn't sleep at all that night, and it was so. I'm not sure what you guys have been told, but we were told basically if the contractions are every 4 minutes for an hour,
Okay, wow.
And it's 4-1-1. I forget what the last one is. I should know this. 4 contractions for an hour. Anyway, whatever. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'll remember it at some point. But and he came out anyway. So, but yeah, if it did get to that point, that's when we were to call the midwife and just say, hey, should we go in at all? So it was about 7:30 in the morning, 8 in the morning, and we called couldn't get a hold of the midwife, but we decided just to go in anyway. And it was about every 3 minutes, Laura was having contractions, so we went in, and by the time we got in there, it was about 10:30 Wednesday morning, and Laura was already pretty far along.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah. So, but then she didn't really progress at all for probably around 7 or 8 hours. So it was a long haul. It was not fun, man. But
stressful, I bet.
Yeah. So eventually, 18 hours later, the baby comes out, and yeah, really amazing experience. We did have a bit of a scary moment because he came out with the cord wrapped around his neck twice, and he actually wasn't breathing, and he was kind of this bluish color. And then, but then one of the nurses took him and got him resuscitated like really quickly.
Yeah.
So praise God for that. But yeah,
that's scary.
It was a crazy experience. And then, after that long haul, when you finally have the baby, in your arms, it's like, wow, it's all worth it at that point. But it is like, man, feels like you ran a marathon, and I wasn't even the one giving birth.
That's right.
Yeah. So my wife is a champ.
Yeah, she is.
And yeah, so he's doing great. It's you pretty much. So I'm kind of the type of person who I like to go to bed at a certain time every night, and I like to wake up at a certain time in the morning, like every day.
Yeah.
Once you have a baby, you should just throw that all out the window, because it's not going to happen. You're on the baby schedule now. The baby calls the shots.
That's right. Ethan's running the house.
Yeah. And so, yeah, it's challenging. It's there are times in the middle of the night where you're just like, this baby will not stop crying. And I mean, we haven't had, a terrible experience yet with that, but yeah, we've had some. It'll test you. That little guy will test you.
So you've been half a week. It'll be week Thursday. And
yeah, he's 4 days old.
4 days old, and he's running the house.
Oh yeah, from the second he was born, he was running things.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just life, It's your life is going to be revolved around him, and it's just a season. At least that's what we tell ourselves. It's just a season, and then he'll be older, and people keep telling me, oh, he's gonna be in college before you know it, and I'm just like, stop it, no.
Yeah.
But yeah, so just trying to enjoy.
That's right.
Just trying to enjoy the moments, and yeah, so yeah, I'm a proud papa.
Proud Papa Bear.
And one thing that I don't think I fully grasped this heading into the hospital, that I kind of had an understanding that we would probably be there for at least 24 hours after the baby's born. That's kind of standard, at least around here. And but for some reason that really didn't click in my head, and I thought like, oh, we'll just go to the hospital, baby will be born, and then we'll like go home like right afterwards.
Yeah, that's right.
But that's not the way. So we were there for 38 hours after as well.
Wow.
The baby's born. So just prepare yourself for that, you know.
Now, did you have someone running back and forth? Like, was Laura's parents in town?
No, actually. So yeah, Laura's mom had an accident where she broke both of her wrists.
Oh no.
Yeah, falling down the stairs. Um, so she wasn't able to come down and help us, which, you know, Laura's mom was obviously very grieved about.
No, I bet.
We were as well, but like, yeah, so her plan was to come down and just kind of make sure things were good with our dog while we were over there.
Yeah.
And to stay for probably a week after.
Yeah.
But if, you know, that didn't happen. So yeah, I mean, we had a list of people who we would call, reach out to, just ask, hey, could you just come and let our dog out? You know, once in the morning, once at night, feed him. So yeah, we just did that, and it turned out to be good. And you know, you find people are pretty nice to you when you're about to have a baby. People,
they pretty much want to reach out and help out, don't they?
Yes, they do. Yeah. So people are very.
Now, here's a funny question: how's a dog with the newborn?
That is a good question. So, it's interesting. You know, we were a little concerned because he is a golden retriever, which are usually pretty, you know, friendly dogs, pretty family friendly dogs. But he's had trouble kind of in the past with other dogs. I mean, he just doesn't get along with other dogs. He loves people. So back when he was living with Laura and her mom, they had at one point they had 3 other dogs in the house. And Tucker would actually get in fights with one that's a pit bull, which is not smart on Tucker's part. But yeah, so he kind of he's had issues in the past with jealousy. So we, you know, weren't really sure how that would go with this, you know, with this baby in the house. But and yeah, you know, when the baby cries, Tucker's just like very confused as to what this noise is, and he'll start crying, and he'll start barking, and even at some point he'll start howling.
That's good.
So he's very confused by this creature. He doesn't really know what to make of it. Like, he's not really like, is this something I can play with?
That's right.
Is this something I can eat? And it's like, no. So yeah, it's an interesting experience, and I'm sure he'll get better. But it's just, you know, you obviously just want to be smart. You know, don't want to leave the dog and the baby in the same room together.
Not for now.
No, not for now. But I'm sure he'll have time to adjust, just as we are adjusted.
Exactly, and it's like anything. Dogs, once they have the same routine, the same person to hang out with, if they're pretty gentle with you and Laura, he's going to be really gentle with Ethan. So
yeah, that's what we're, you know, definitely hoping for.
Yeah.
But yeah, being at the hospital, so just make sure you definitely bring a change of clothes. Because I wasn't even going to bring a change of clothes. I brought it, you know, just in case something happened. But like, if you're going to be there for 36 hours after, you want to bring a change, you're going to get pretty gross.
I guess so, eh?
Yeah. And I mean, what was cool is that, you know, she was able to order room service at the hospital. So I'm not sure if the one you're going to has the same kind of thing, but
no, I think you get hospital food. I'm pretty sure my understanding is Ontario or Canadian hospitals share our health care through our taxes, and it's all that way. It's all great and all, but I've heard the difference from the food from Ontario hospitals to American hospitals are like night and day. Ours are just your typical hospital / AK prison food. It's like it comes in a dish, and it just everyone in the hospital more or less gets the same food, depending on your diet, depending on the diet, obviously. And then my understanding is in American hospitals is they give you like an iPad and you kind of choose what you want, and it is made like in a kitchen.
Yeah. It's nice. And you can get a lot of food too. So, obviously when, throughout the entire labor, you're not supposed to eat anything,
Right.
or the mom isn't. So when that first opportunity to have breakfast afterwards, you just like got so much food. But then after that, yeah. But then after that too, you can get a lot of food for each meal, or at least we could. So that was really nice. And then there's also a cafeteria, which I frequented pretty often. And it's good food, man. I mean, chicken tenders, chicken quesadillas.
Oh, there you go.
Burgers. Lots of stuff.
So
breakfast was a little sketchy at the cafeteria, probably because I was getting it from like kind of like a buffet kind of thing, and it was like, eggs sitting there for like hours.
They clearly let you stay. They obviously let you stay for the full 36 hours.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, they give you one visitor, and the visitor can stay with you throughout the duration.
Now that was just because of COVID, I'm assuming, right? Like if they wanted, people could have came in to visit Laura afterwards, but just because of COVID, it was a hard no.
Yes, yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
and it's pretty sweet too. Like you get cable or satellite, whatever too. So I was like, I was able to watch the Major League Baseball draft Wednesday night. Obviously this wasn't when like Laura was in like, serious contractions, like baby about to get out, and I'm like,
right.
Hold up, wait a second, I got to see what the Jays are going to pick. No, it wasn't like that.
No, you didn't have a sub in your hand. Sub in the hand on the one side.
Yeah, eating my chicken tenders.
Feet
like, wow, this life is pretty great, man.
Can you guys keep
babies.
it down a little bit?
Yeah, no, that would not go over well.
Laura's going to kick your butt. She's going to hear this now and not be happy.
Yeah, I know. Probably going to have to edit that. If I actually knew how to edit. I don't know how to edit this. But anyway, this is raw. This is raw footage here.
This is live but not live.
Yeah. So, that's pretty sweet. You get to watch. I watched a lot of classic Baltimore Orioles and Washington Nationals baseball games.
So a lot of losing is what you watched.
No, I mean, of course they're not gonna show the games because it's like the Orioles, and it's like the local broadcaster of the Orioles and Nationals.
Massive.
So they're obviously
television.
not gonna show. It's a pretty big one, but like, I mean, that's right. Masson. Did you say Masson? Yeah,
I
it's
did.
Masson. Yeah, so.
Yeah.
So watch some of that. There was one game against the Blue Jays, and
was it
the
2016 wild card game where Zach Britton got left in the bullpen and Edwin walked him off? No,
it wasn't that one. I mean, they were only going to show the good games for the Orioles. But it was a game when they clinched the AL East, which
nice.
A few years ago.
That was the year they were the best one-run differential team in the major leagues. They were like their stats and one-run. They all I want to say this is a fake number I'm throwing out there, but 70% of their wins were one-run games. So they were going against what numbers would state they could do, but they were doing it, and they won the AL East. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's a pretty big statistic that kind of make you think, oh, maybe we're not playing as well as we, probably getting lucky at a lot of those one-run games. But anyway, so watch that game, and that was kind of fun. I think it was 2014 or something with Jose Bautista and Edwin and
classics.
Jose Reyes. So not great memories, but
that was a year. It was 13. They loaded up on everybody: Reyes, Burley, Josh Johnson, Zach.
I'm wondering if that was
R.A. Dickey.
Yeah, so probably the year after they did that.
Remember that year? It was 2013. Maybe the winter. They made all the trades. Come spring training, we bought a flex pack.
We did 15 games.
Yeah, and then we went our first flex pack. It was R.A. Dickey pitching against the good old Boston Red Sox, and it was like 18-2 in the fourth inning. I was like, what a waste
I
of a
remember
flex
that.
pack.
Yeah, man. There was a time there where I posted this on Facebook because I was like, it was like the first 8 games or something, and the Jays had lost every single one. Like the first 8 games that I went to personally as part of the 15-game flex pack.
Yeah.
The Jays had lost every one. They had been outscored like 47 to like 10 or something, like ridiculous.
And R.A. Dickey pitched every single one of those 8 games. I don't know how it was, but every game we went to, or every game I went to that one season, I just picked an R.A. Dickey game, and I was like, I don't want to see a knuckleballer throw 70 miles an hour anymore because they're destroying it, and it's making me so mad.
Yes. Yeah, man. That was one of the most disappointing because
there
was so much hype. There's so much hype.
There was so much hype.
We went out and got a 15-game flex pack. We were like, man, this is going to be the greatest. And then it was just...
typical Torontonians flock to the winning.
Oh, yeah. Just get our hopes up to be dashed in pieces on the rocks of despair. But anyway, so yeah, all in all, crazy experience, but very happy. I'm a dad, and prepare yourself for the 36 hours.
Baby Ethan's got so don't go in expecting to bring a foot-long sub, sit back, eat it, and expect to be in and out, wash your hands, and so bring a change of clothes.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of there's going to be a lot of people.
Stress test.
Yeah, and there's going to be a lot of like staff who you're going to be seeing as well. Lots of different nurses, because like during the 18-hour period, we probably had 4 or 5 different nurses.
Wow.
Just come and go on their shifts. So you're going to probably get to know a lot of people if you if you have a lengthy one. And so do you guys have like a specific doctor who you're been with through the whole process?
Yes, Dr. Bear.
Dr. Bear, yeah.
Actually, Dr. Bear.
Awesome.
Is our doctor. Family friend and good guy.
Yeah, that's my dad.
That's right.
So anyway. So we don't need to talk about that because it might be. I don't know if that's like a violation of whatever.
I don't know.
Privacy, but no, but that's good. I just asked because it's good to have to keep that relationship throughout the whole process. Yeah.
That's right. And that whole clinic, the clinic that our doctor's in is also the same doctor my family doctor's in. So it's a very open chain team there. I don't know, but I think, at least from my opinion. And it looks like they're going to follow us right through all the appointments, the ultrasounds. They're getting the reports, and it goes right to delivery. And from there, I'm assuming whoever, if that certain doctor is available, he'll be there. If he's on holidays or the doctor's not available, there's obviously on-call doctors through the hospital. But it looks like it's a pretty good, at least for us, it was a good process where we got one doc and it's just one doc all the way through, versus you don't want to see one doc and then all of a sudden the line gets crossed and you start with another doc and there's complications. For example, you don't want something that could go. You want a fluid motion with one person knows it all is my ideal best situation.
Oh yeah, definitely. So in our case, Laura went with kind of a team of midwives, so kind of the same deal. So she, throughout the whole process, she got to know each one. So the one who was actually on call when we were there was really awesome. She was great. And then we also had a doctor who kind of came in at the very end just to make sure that the baby came out well.
There you go.
So yeah, all the staff were awesome. Couldn't be happier with the staff. And then I'm not sure if this is too much information or not. You stop me if it is. I'm just gonna ask: is Becca planning to breastfeed?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. That's we bought a deep freeze. We got a deep freeze from our parents, kind of to store away. I believe. I think that was the whole overall goal of it. But yeah. Versus doing formula.
Yeah.
Is that same with you guys?
Yeah, we're doing the same thing. So that's a whole other kind of experience. That's that takes some getting used to. But what was good is we had a couple of lactation experts come the day after and kind of show Laura, how to do it. What are some good tips and stuff?
Sure.
Because I mean that's probably been one of the most challenging things afterwards, is just
that's what I've heard,
getting him fed and not to get too into it, but yeah, it's obviously can be very painful, and and the baby is feeding very frequently, every 2 or 3 hours. So
really, eh?
Yeah, it's a lot. It's pretty constant. So that's why in like the middle of the night, it's like, Laura's constantly having to be woken up to deal with the feeding. So yeah, it's a challenge. So I just get ready for that. Do whatever you can to help out, and take a shift or a couple shifts in the middle of the night just to hold the baby.
That's right. You gotta do it. You definitely gotta be a good team.
Yeah, definitely. Having to raise a child on your own, having to raise a newborn on your own, I can't even imagine.
No.
So
shout out to the families that do it.
Yes, definitely. All right, and I also wanted to have a correction from last week. So last week I talked a little bit about your water breaking, and not your water breaking, but like
that's right.
mom's water breaking. So I said, when it does happen, whatever, you can wait a while, get to the hospital. And then, my mom watched this, and my mom is also a doctor, and she said, don't do that. She said, basically, she said that if your water breaks, go to the hospital, or, call your doctor, your midwife, or whatever, if it happens. Just because there could be some complications that could come out of the water breaking.
Right. So don't stop and have your steak dinner.
Well, you might be able to. I don't know, but call a doctor. And once again, just a disclaimer: we're not trained medical professionals, and we don't even play them on a podcast. We are. Yeah.
Trust your medical team.
Trust your medical team. That's right. All right. So I think that's good for the fatherhood portion of this. We're just going to go straight through, because Zoom's not kicking me off this time. So I mentioned some of my downtime that I had in the hospital. One of the things that I saw by watching ESPN, a lot of ESPN, and what I learned, just as an aside, watching ESPN when there's like not really any live sports going on, it has to be like one of the layers of hell. Just like, because it's talking heads. It's like Sports Center, where they talk about the same things, to a show with some talking heads where they talk about the same things, to another show with other talking heads talking about this. Like, over
Yeah.
and over and over again.
Yeah.
When there's no actual sports to talk about, it's pretty bad.
But they can make topics up out of anything,
Yep.
argue it to death.
Yeah.
But there is no right answer. But
Right.
that guy is it's I've been I know where you've been, and that is not a fun spot to be.
Yeah. So anyway, once in a while you actually do get some cool news that came along. So one thing that did happen was I learned Major League Soccer is coming back.
Yep.
So I'm wearing my Toronto FC jersey to celebrate the return of MLS. So
yes.
it's the aptly and creatively named MLS Is Back Tournament, happening in Orlando, Florida, at the ESPN Wide World
Sports Wide Complex. I like it. I like the setup.
I do too, man. I do too.
Like it's a typical soccer setup.
Oh yeah.
I like that they have their groups. They have group stages, and the group stage is going to count to regular season play. Yeah. And then they're going to go when round robin's over. They're going to go into obviously knockout stage, and that's not going to count anymore. But the round robin beforehand, the group stage is going to be your 3 points for a win, 1 point for a draw, and 0 for a loss. And I like that. I like that it's going to go back to the regular season standings, the table, I should say. Go towards the table for football terms.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, I'm right there with you. I love the tournament format. I love it as a way to just get people back into it. Just with everybody loves tournament soccer, whether it's the World Cup or the Euro or
which Euros
the Gold Cup.
Euros should have been started this past week, if I'm not correct.
Yeah,
I believe.
Yeah.
I believe the Euros.
Euro.
Yeah, but yeah, who's a favorite going in? TFC.
TFC, baby. I don't know. I don't follow these things as well as I should.
Pretty sure Atlanta going in where I think they were at the top of the table when all said and done. But all said and done, they only played 3 games. So I don't know if you can say Atlanta being the best. But yes, it'd be interesting.
Yeah.
I love the setup.
Yeah, it's really great. So every team is playing in this tournament. I got the stats. It'll be 54 games, 26 teams, 6 groups. You know, like you said, one kind of interesting thing about the group stage is just because of how the numbers shake out, you're going to have one group of 6, and the rest is going to be groups of 4. So I don't know. It's kind of a strange thing. I guess that's just the way you have to do it when you've got 2 extra teams in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah.
But
did you see the times of the games? Interesting.
Yeah,
times.
like 9 in the morning is going to be the first one, and then like 8:30 at night, and then 10:30.
But no mid-afternoon games.
Yeah.
Just because the scorching heat in Orlando, which.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't think about that. That makes sense.
I'm not playing a 90-minute soccer match, football match against when it's 32, 40 degrees.
Yeah. And again, they're going to be playing outside. So you're not going to be in a climate controlled stadium of any kind. So that'll be really interesting.
I guess it will say a lot about your franchise and your rankings of the league when you get the bright and early game when half of the league is still sleeping. You get the 9 o'clock slot.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Here you go, you pigeons. Here's your 9 a.m. game.
But man, that's kind of fun. So it kind of brings you back to the World Cup where you get up at 7 in the morning and you got your first game, and then got another game at like 9 or 10, and another game at like 1. So it's obviously not going to be as frequent as that, but it's kind of a fun little thing. get to wake up and watch soccer if you're not working, or maybe you're able to work
right.
while watching soccer.
Yeah. Yeah. We've gone a long time without, over 3 months now without sports, but it's going to come back fast and furious where they're going to jam it as much as they can in as much as possible.
Yeah.
Everyone but baseball.
Everybody but baseball. Poor baseball. Although it looks like, just speaking of baseball, it looks like the league can force the players just to start playing. So it looks like that's kind of what it's gonna. Yeah, it looks like that's what they're gonna end up doing.
But yeah, if Rob Manfred, the commissioner of baseball, came out and said, as long as players aren't going to sue the major leagues, so like they want an agreement saying you're not going to grieve us making you forced to play, which will be. Yeah. I don't know. I think in the long run it's going to be a 48 or 58 game schedule. 48 to 50 game schedule if they pull that card, the Trump card.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I mean, the players want to play.
That's right. They just they want their money they signed for.
Yes.
To a pro rate, to a pro rated number. I get it. They're not going to get 100% of their money they got, but if they play the games. They play 50 games. They want 100% of that 50 game pay. So if they were due $200,000 per game, they want $200,000 per game over a 162 game schedule. But really, it would have been over 50 game schedule. I think the owners want to give them 50% of the prorated pay. I don't know.
Well, last I saw, they're up to 75%. The owners.
Okay, 75%.
But yeah. So I mean,
I get both sides.
Yeah.
They signed you to that contract. Don't back out Don't back out in the contract. But then the owners are also coming back saying we don't have ticket revenue. We don't have beer sales, popcorn sales.
Yeah.
We don't have concession stands. I get that, but I don't know. It's not the right time in my eyes to be arguing either side for money.
Yeah, it does kind of. Yeah, it doesn't look good at all for your sport to be doing that. But.
Neither or. Owners versus players.
Yeah, and it just brings back some bad memories as far as like the strike, Major League Baseball strike. What was that in the early 90s?
93. Well, the Jays won 92, 93. So the 94 strike. 94. And it hurt. It hurt Canadian baseball. That's for sure. It hurt the Expos. The Expos didn't leave until early 2000s, but it still hurt the Expos. It hurt Canadian or Toronto baseball. It's going to hurt small market teams. That's for sure. If they keep this going.
Yeah, and then of course with the National Hockey League, we had 2 lockouts.
Yep.
So yeah, it's just. It's
within like a 5 years, with a 5 year span, wasn't it? 03, 04 or something like that. And then 06, 07 or 13. No, 13, 2013.
Yeah, because the second time around, it was the entire season, right?
First time around all season. Second time was the half. 2013 was the half season.
Okay.
But still, it's still back-to-back CBAs and you're striking.
Yeah, so that's no bueno, but I'm still optimistic we're going to see some baseball. I mean, they have to at some point. They got to.
How do you go? This is your time. This is your real estate. You are the sport of the summer. You're the summer sport for the more or less for North American fans.
Yeah.
If you want to classify us as big four.
Yeah. Although, I mean, it looks like now, like, with the NHL and basketball both starting up in
mid-July for training camp. Yeah,
mid-July for training camp, and then for the NHL, and then we got actual games, I think, for the NBA starting mid-July.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, those playoffs could stretch through most of the summer. It's so
Well,
I
I think
mean,
they're
it'll
all
be
due to
interesting.
end.
Sorry.
Yeah, they're all due to be end of October. That's when they'll
End of October.
mid October. That's when they're expected to finish.
Yeah. So I mean, again, so that'll be interesting to see how that what that effect will be on the baseball season, because they're used to having that prime real estate of
That's
the
right.
only thing going on, and now they've got NBA, they've got NHL, they've got. I mean, obviously Major League Soccer is small potatoes
That's
compared
right.
to the big four, but
For now, I think
for now,
Major League Soccer is slowly growing. It's obviously
yeah.
I think it added a couple more teams. I think they expanded this year, if not the year before.
Yeah.
They've definitely TFCs within the last decade.
Yeah.
I want to say they've added like 5 to 7 teams. They're slowly growing to be their popularity is huge. It's a lot bigger than it has been the last 5 years.
Oh yeah, I mean certainly there's a huge support base for soccer in general.
For
here
sure.
in North America, especially here in the U.S. with the number of Spanish speaking people who have
That's
recently joined the country or been in the country for years. They're crazy about soccer for the most part, and go to a Toronto FC game. I mean, you're going to see some of the most diehard fans.
If you can get a
around.
ticket, there's TFC tickets are like they're sold out every game. Every game TFC, like BMO Field is a packed stadium all the time.
Yeah. So and I mean, like especially now because they're doing well again.
Sure. Yeah. They 3 MLS Cup finals in 4 years. That's gonna help your it's gonna help your ticket sales.
Oh yeah. But I mean, yeah, obviously there's a huge support base for it, and you've seen that just with with the English Premier League games being broadcast here on NBC, and there's just a huge appetite for soccer, and that's a fairly recent thing where it's really gotten going. But it's a great thing. It's awesome. Soccer is it's a global sport. It brings a lot of people together.
It's the biggest sport in the world.
Yeah, and in times when I think there's just a lot of division in our country, and in particular, or here in America, certainly, soccer is something that really brings people together, as sports do in general. So hopefully we can start watching some live sports. And there has been, I mean, we mentioned last week a little bit about the Bundesliga that they've been going, they've been going pretty strong, playing without fans.
Well, they got the cardboard cutout fans.
Just as an aside, I did watch a little bit of a South Korean baseball game. Well, it was on at like 5:30 in the morning or whatever, and I wasn't sleeping, obviously, with a baby in my arms. But I was like, watch Korean baseball, and I just couldn't really get into it. Honestly, it's just it's
home
a
run to them is like it is. I find I don't know. I've tried to watch a game. I tried a PVR game or a PVR game, and I thought I would watch it the next afternoon, and it's just not the same. Maybe I don't got that. I don't got the connection. I love baseball. I can watch the Giants, and I can watch Giants versus Padres, and I wouldn't mind watching that. Baseball is baseball to me, but that's not. It's very similar, but there are still some slight rules changes, and it's just different in general.
Yeah, it is. It is different, and I would rather watch an old Major League Baseball game than a current KBO game. But it's something anyway. But I did get to see Bayern Munich play in the German Cup semifinal. I think that was Wednesday afternoon against I can't even remember who they played. But I mean, they dominated. They had like 70% possession, probably just as an estimate. But I mean, they dominated. Yet they only ended up winning like 2-1. It was tied like 1-1 late in the game. It was, but yeah, they pulled out the win, and I did see your boy Alphonso Davies,
future best player in the world after Alphonso Ronaldo retires.
Yeah, so I mean, he's an exciting guy. He's 19 or 20 years old. He's from Canada. And here's the thing: he's from Canada, but he also plays for the Canadian national team.
That is big.
Yeah, because there's a lot of guys.
That's right.
Yeah, because there's a lot of guys. Some of the best players who were raised in Canada, lived in Canada for most of their life. They often have dual citizenship, so they go and play for their other country.
What's a fun fact about Alphonso Davies? He was actually drafted and brought through Vancouver Whitecaps system.
Yeah, that's right.
MLS.
I saw that. Yeah.
What how franchise, like, imagine that as a team, as a franchise, if you could have Alphonso Davies in the MLS right now, like, he would be probably the best player in MLS.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, he's the starting left back for what could be the best team in the world right now, Bayern Munich. So yeah, he's a phenom.
I think Vancouver only got, was it 90? No, I don't know. They didn't get a big transfer fee, where now, like, if they try to sell him back,
yeah,
Vancouver would owe money to Byron. Like, it was like Byron's jumped in on Alphonso Davies, and I think he was just like their bench squad for the first year, to now where he's a top five transfer. Like, I think he's the fifth most expensive player if you want to get your hands on him.
Wow. Yeah, he's an outstanding player. It'll be really interesting to watch him grow. And yeah, hopefully he stays with Canada. I think he was born in Ghana, I believe.
Oh, really? See, I didn't know. Yeah.
Hopefully double check that.
Hopefully he commits to Canada and actually, because their coach John Herdman is what represented Team Canada, the ladies team, and now he coaches the men's team. That men's team is slowly climbing the world ranks, and hopefully Alphonso Davies, our budding star.
Yeah, I mean, and you definitely need some guys who can come alongside him.
That's what soccer is not a sport where you can just do one man takes it all.
No, definitely not. So. Yeah, that would be great to see Canadian soccer actually do something on the world stage, because they've been pretty bad since what, 2000.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever won a World Cup game. Like, we've qualified for the World Cup, but I don't think we've ever won a World Cup game.
Yeah, I think that was the year 2000, where we won the Gold Cup, which was pretty huge, which is both North and South America together. Or is the Gold Cup just CONCACAF? Is it only North and Central America?
North and Central. So North American teams and Mexican teams.
That's right. It is CONCACAF. So yeah.
Yeah,
my bad. So it's a little less impressive.
But it is pretty bad when the Mexican league always seem to destroy the North American leagues.
Oh yeah.
Which, live and breed soccer, you're going to do it. You play soccer 24/7 as a country. You're eventually going to be a team that doesn't play soccer 24/7 as a country. I don't care how big your landmass is.
Yeah. Yeah. So, we're kind of running out of time here, but I did want to hit on one topic. So the Major League Baseball draft did happen this past week. The Toronto Blue Jays were picking number 5, and Austin Martin out of Vanderbilt. I think he plays every position. I don't even know. I think he was listed as a shortstop, but he plays pretty much everything, infield, outfield. But very good hitter, led the SEC in batting average. And he fell to number 5 to the Blue Jays to pick them up. And he was the number 2 ranked prospect by pretty much everybody. And yet he fell. So the Blue Jays would have been ecstatic to get that opportunity. And we lost Nick. So anyway, I think we'll just kind of close it here then. This has been awesome. Thank you all so much for watching. Feel free to leave a comment, like, subscribe to our channel or to my channel. We're hoping to do this every week. First Time Dads, Diehard Fans, a podcast about fatherhood and sports. Hope to see you guys next week. Take care and God bless.